Alright, I'm just making a quick video on how to capture wilds, the uses of wilds, things like that. Again, sound issues going on, so I'm syncing up the audio separate, so the audio may be shorter or longer than the video, so bear with me here. So I'm basically going to go over wilds and what they're there for. Basically, each wild gives you some sort of benefit or, resource boost, I should say, except for these little swamp-looking things. That's where you put your cities on, and you can't really capture those. You can just put your cities there. So, if you look here, it says conquering this chasm will increase your production by 5%. And each type of wild, does different things. You have mountains, hills, chasms, prairies, lakes. Each one has its boost for its type of resource, and it'll tell you in the descriptions, what it gives you a boost for and how much it gives you a boost for. Some people don't realize that these boosts actually stack up. So this level 10 lake here that I own gives me 50% boost in blood, but because I own multiple of them, I actually get that 50% boost added on. So my base rate being 40,800, 50% of that being 20,400. I have a number of these wilds, they add up, and you can see how my wild boost is larger than my base rate. Currently, with all my troops in my city, I'm not producing more than they're taking away, so I'm not getting anywhere in life until I move those troops outside the city. I'm not really producing any blood. Little known fact, a lot of people are worried that if you run out of blood, your troops die. They don't. Some games, they have a desertion factor in there where that happens. This one doesn't. You simply can't train or build anything until you acquire the resources to do so, which include blood. So, there's a couple things, different types of wilds. You have owned wilds and different owned wilds. And in this one right here, it's showing is unowned. It's owned by the computer. And then there's, wilds that are owned by players. And I'm going to show you here. This one is owned by my main account, Nesfuratu, and you can see how that's owned. Now, computer-owned wilds have troops inside of them, and each wild has a set number of troops generally, and the higher level of wild, the more troops there are, the more difficult they are to take. Wilds that are owned by other players, 99% of the time are simply undefended, generally because players have more wilds than they can defend, and there's really no reason to defend them when they're so easy to acquire. The only time a wild will be defended if it's right by their city and they're hiding troops there, but most times it's empty. Now, if you go to the vampin.net guides, you can see what troops are necessary to conquer wilds with 0 losses. For the high-end wilds, you can see that you need a certain level of research to take no losses, so make sure you meet that, otherwise you could have a few losses. So I'm going to attack this wild here owned by another player, and as I said, it's undefended, so you really can just use a one flicker form attack. And I'm just gonna flash this in so you guys can see what happens. And just like that, it's taken. It plants your flag above it, you own it, you're now getting the boost. For Wastelands, it doesn't give you a description of what the boost is, so if you don't know, it gives you a boost for platinum and blood. It's split evenly. Level 10 obviously gives you 50% like all the other level 10s, so you're getting, a boost for both blood and platinum. And this shows right here, one of the downfalls to the game I found is it tells you your wild was defeated if you're on the receiving end, who did it, and you can see your city, but you can't see the wild you lost. So if somebody takes your wilds and they're attacking them just to be a pain, you're going to have to manually search for your wilds. So if you don't know where they are, maybe you want to make a list or something, because other than that, it's generally a pain to find them. They're easy to replace, but, if somebody's taking them, you always want to get them back. But, hey, it is what it is. Other than that, there's not really too many more things to the game. And if anybody has any questions about the wilds, the boosts they give, conquering them, troops, it should largely be answered by this video. But if you still have concerns or doubts or gaps in information, just ask me or one of the other lords, and we'll help you.